It says, now Jericho was tightly shut because of the sons of Israel. No one went out and no one came in. This is important to note because the people of Jericho had heard about Israel. They had heard about God's presence with these people. They had heard of all the crazy miracles and wonders and victories that God was giving these people, and they were scared. They were terrified. So they built up these ginormous walls around their city, fortified their city, saying, we're going to keep them out. We've got to keep them out at all costs because their God keeps doing crazy things to give them every victory. So we're going to do everything that we can to keep them out. And that's why it says that Jericho was tightly shut. Now the walls, I looked into this a little bit. The walls, scholars believe they were very tall. They believe that they're around 13 to 15 feet in height and about 6 feet thick. Now, this may not seem like a lot to us now because of what we have in modern technology and modern warfare and all that stuff. That sounds like, well, that'd be nothing. I could get through that easy. I could just go and throw a ladder up and climb over that. But we have to understand the Bible in the historical context that it was written. And we have to remember that thousands and thousands of years ago, this is probably roughly about 4,000 years ago. I'm just throwing off the top of my head. And so they didn't have all this technology. It was men on foot and horses and chariots, and that's it. That was their technology. That's how they rolled. That's how they got around everywhere. And these walls, they would have guards that would walk the tops of the walls, and they would have watchtowers so that if anyone ever approached, they could alert anyone that they needed to and be able to be on guard and engage in battle if it was going to come their way. But these were huge walls. The Israelites would have looked at these walls back in the day and thought, well, this is impossible. There's no way we could get through this. God is calling us to take this city, but these walls are so big. They're so tall, they're so thick, there's no way we could get in there. These people would kill us all before we could even get halfway up. And I want to point this out to you because we need to understand that the enemy builds walls in our lives too. Walls of anxiety, walls of fear, walls of depression, unworthiness, lack of identity, all of that stuff. He builds up walls because he wants to keep you out of the place that God wants to take you to and wants to give you for you to have dominion over and to conquer and to serve his purpose. And the enemy builds walls. Every time you experience rejection, he says, see, you couldn't do it. Every time you feel you make a mistake, he says, why do you even try? One brick on top of another. You can't do that. Why would you even put that resume in there? You don't have that experience. You've never done anything like that. People have never respected you to be a leader. People have never listened to you for you to be a speaker. People have never thought of that. People always said this about you. You can't be that. You've always made these mistakes. You can't be a child of God. You can't be holy. You can't be righteous. And he builds these walls till eventually there's something surrounding the place, the promise that God has for you, or just surrounding you, that for you may feel insurmountable, may feel impossible. And the enemy has taken every negative thing in this world, every rejection, every fear, every insecurity, every self-conscious thing, all of it, and he has stacked them one brick on top of another to build walls in your life to keep you out of the things that God has for you, the places that God wants to take you. And he guards them.